Who are you? Good evening, madam. Go on, get out of it.
Alright, time to get doing a bit more of a catch up to get this out of the way before Christmas. Yeah, after this video there's probably loads more stuff I need to be talking about that I got in like November, so maybe that'll have to wait till the new year. And yeah, not good really when I'll be showing you what I got for Christmas probably before what I got in November, but whatever, if you're eagle-eyed enough it's somewhere up there.
Start mission.
Yes, I was gonna tell you all about Slugslinger in this one, wasn't I? Or rather, you know, what was gonna be the next video 2 videos ago. Yeah, uni work was just mental. I failed one of my bits of coursework, so go me. And now it's the time to just get some stuff out of the way, catch up wise, so these things aren't really left too long. But yeah, Slugslinger then. What about him? What about this Energon bloke that I've been wanting for a decade? Well, he's certainly different, I've got to say that. I really don't quite know what to say or think about this figure. On the one hand, he kind of completes my Energon Decepticons. Almost, maybe, a little bit. I don't know, I suppose I've got all the ones that aren't repaints now, maybe? But he's certainly odd, and I'm not sure if I like how odd he is. First off, it's like his face. He's got a weird like two-face thing going on here, where one half's all like a scowl and with a weird eye, and the other half's normal. I wish it was just normal on both sides. It just looks odd, and he seems to have been the first casualty in the invasion of default grey, because it just looks like not enough of him's coloured in, and the colours you do get are, well, colours we've never actually had in Transformer together before. It's all green and orange and dark blue, and it kind of just feels weird, man. I mean, it doesn't feel bad, it's pretty darn good, and very complex to transform for an Energon figure. It's a bit like, what? First time I transformed this, it was a bit of a struggle, I'm not gonna lie. There's so many things that just flop about and fold in on themselves. It turns inside out pretty much, and it's like, this is an Energon figure? You what, mate?
Megatron, Scorponok, Inferno, Tarantula.
So I think really, one thing that I can say about this guy is that it just feels like, I want to say he feels like a knockoff. Not in the bad quality way, in the way that it feels like a different toy company has had a go at making a Transformer, and this is what came out of that process. I mean, I suppose he's got regular joints, you know, his arms are a bit weird, but it's like, I don't know, the kind of plastic that he's made out of, and just the arrangement of the joints that he has got, and the colour choices, and he's certainly an odd one. I think I'm very much struggling to find a place that he really fits in my collection, because he just stands out like, not so much of a sore thumb, but he just doesn't quite fit into any other lot of bots. But on the upside, he's got nice light piping, and he's got this big shoulder cannon. I mean, having that there is supposed to be his hyper mode, and there's nowhere else for it to go. You can fold it down. That's supposed to be like normal, non-hyper, not attack mode stuff, but it doesn't hide anywhere, it just sits down his back. So it's like, to actually have it anywhere that looks any good, he's got to always be in hyper mode, which then kind of defeats the whole hyper mode thing, because it's not him being upgraded or empowered further at all. It's just, oh, maybe I'll adjust my gun a bit. There we go, hyper time. So, Slugslinger then, very much a weird one, very much an oddity, and I'd recommend him if you want something a bit weird, a bit different, because in some ways he does look pretty darn rad with the sort of fin ears and these legs. I like the legs, there's like chrome inside the cockpits, I think, to make it all a bit shiny in there. I don't know, they look shiny somehow, maybe it's all the translucent stuff. But he looks cool in certain ways, and in other ways just like, what's going on? His alt mode is pretty darn slick though, even if it is a bit of a headache to get him into that mode with all the stuff that just folds out. Come on, who designed this? It explodes to transform and it's blah. Entirely not subtle lighting change. That's because it's time to talk about Beast Hunter's Prowl. Upon a jaunt into, was it B&M Bargains, I think? One of them places, yeah, probably that one. I came across a shelf of nicely reduced Beast Hunters Deluxes, and well, basically I'd never seen Prowl before, and he was £7, so I thought, boom, you're coming home with me, son. I have to say, I am not overly bothered by the complexity of the smokescreen mould. Yes, it's a bit more of a headache to transform this guy than this guy, and that's saying something, but it honestly doesn't really get on my nerves. I can appreciate the kind of level of engineering you've got going here, considering this is a figure that came out last year. So yeah, I was all up for getting a repaint of that with a better head. So here is Prowl, and Smokescreen is probably very much obsolete in my collection now. I'll go somewhere near the bottom of the box he lives in and not get touched for a few years, because this guy is so much better. Granted, he is pretty much the same figure as Smokescreen. It's, you know, a white car man, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the plastic colours and placement of those colours in parts is the same as Smokescreen. Like, he's got grey arms up there, and he's got white forearms, and all his legs are white, and stuff like that. Which makes you think, oh, it's not a very imaginative repaint, is it? But in some ways it just does feel better, man. It feels just slick. I like Prowl, I like this. First thing to point out, it just comes with, you know, standard missile launch. It doesn't have any of that floppy about blue rubbery nonsense that Smokescreen had. Maybe you could say it's a mark against him because of less value for money than Smokescreen, but come on, it looks better. You don't have to just have all that extraneous guff that gets chucked in a box you don't ever do anything with. He's got a normal gun, and that looks fine. And then there is this head sculpt. It is so good, and I honestly can't remember the last time I had a figure that has such good light piping. It's a proper, like, pew, yellow visor thing going on here, and it looks good, man. Especially with all the rest of the stuff on his head. He's got the sort of cresty thing, and then the rest of his head kind of looks a bit like animated Prowl, and it's a nice mixture of styles and things going on here that lead to something that just, yeah, it works so much better than Smokescreen. Just for that head and those highway patrolman shades. Yes, sir. But what about the kind of paint you do get that isn't just black bits here and there? His chest is rather nice. You've got some nice blue on these fake headlights that's all shiny, and I don't think actually ends up anywhere else, so it's a bit like, well, nice of them to do that. And then you've got these little tiny turquoise lights in his abs and a nice badge. It's all really nicely done, like properly crisply applied, when there are some proper tiny bits down here, these turquoise bits. So all in all, £7 felt like a flipping steal for this guy, and I'm rather glad to finally say that I have the last Beast Hunters figure that I kind of wanted, because once I got him out of that box, I was rather more pleased with him than I thought I was going to be. So yes, Prowl wins. I've got to say, it kind of feels like his proportions work a lot better than they did on Smokescreen, because it's like, really, this is quite a bulky sort of looking robot. It's not really hench, but it's still not quite lithe, and I don't know, there's a suggestion of sort of agile power here, and with that with Smokescreen, it just sort of felt like he was a bit too beefed up around his shoulders and all that kind of thing. But with Prowl, it kind of works. He will enforce the law, he will kick you in the face over a speeding ticket, and it just feels right for this. So there you go, that's it up for now. I wanted this to be a bit of a quicker one, just these two sort of miscellaneous bots, as it were, before the next video, which will probably be an onslaught of 4 pretty hefty generations figures that I'll be able to find an awful lot to talk about. So maybe that will have to be split into 2 or something, because I can see myself going on for a good half an hour there. There's some nice stuff that I've got in store, and you can probably see up there now. The shelf's a little bit better. But yes, if I don't see you before Christmas, do have a nice one, enjoy all your robots, and make sure you give someone a robot, because it's always nice to make sure someone has some robots under the tree this time of year. Goodbye and Merry Christmas, Happy Festiveness, and have a good chocolate crimbo. Toodaloo.
Get wrecked, son!